Okay, let's start from the beginning. You know my name by now if you watched my first video. If not, I'm Joy. Nice to meet you. And the purpose of this video is to walk with me through my vibrations and life as vibrations from that point of view. And we're going to start from the beginning. So, in 2007 is when I felt the urge to walk away from my stock market job. And during that time, I had 20 grand saved in my savings account. I was like in my mid-20s, even though I still look like I'm in my mid-20s. I was in my mid-20s and life was great. I was about to buy a house. Everything was going great. And I felt the urge that I needed to let go of my job. Now, for many of you, it would be crazy and psychotic to do something so dumb. But I was young and I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And so during that time, you guys get to hear my story. And I won't be long, I promise. Because who wants to sit there and listen to all that? I don't know. Maybe you might. Either way. But during that time, I had 20 grand saved up in my 401k. And I was pretty much set for at least the next 6 months because I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And the goal was to travel and get this business started. Now, it wasn't successful at all. Not at all. It was like I started off with a multi-level marketing company and it crashed and burned. And the following year, the stock market crashed and burned. So the option of even going back to my job was like null and void. Now, during that time, I kept hearing like money was coming my way. Money is coming my way. Money is coming my way. I remember hearing you're going to receive $1 million. And the crazy thing was I was walking down the street and you know those little fake $1 million. As soon as I heard it, a lady gave me $1 million and I was like, okay, maybe this is true. And that was the first point of me learning about vibrations and exercising my faith, because at this point everything was kind of all topsy-turvy. Months had passed and I watched my 20 grand dwindle down. It didn't improve, it didn't advance, it didn't do anything. It just, because I used most of it to pay for bills and to figure out what I was going to do with my life. Because going back to the stock market wasn't even an option. So I started to feel different in myself and learning my character. I had to face my biggest and my greatest fears. I had to face the possibilities of losing everything and starting over. Yeah. And the crazy thing is that during that time, I saw a lot of cool things happen. Whenever I had a need, it was met. Whenever I had a need, it was always met. Until it was time for me to move. And then things got crazy. And they did. Which is to be expected. When the money runs out, you just know. It's not going to work. But what happened was, I lost everything within a 2-week span. for the most part. My car was repoed, and 2 weeks later, I was evicted from my place. And the crazy thing was, the eviction was so stupid. I was 1 month. I was actually 1 month before my lease was terminated. So I only had 1 more month, and my lease would have been done, and I would not have had an eviction on my record. And I ended up being homeless for a couple of years, which was, it's to be expected. This is what happens. But during that time, I met so many great people. I met homeless people. I learned about their journeys. Now, the cool thing is my homelessness wasn't on the streets. I just lived from house to house. And I have been kicked out of people's homes. That was not fun. Yeah, that wasn't fun at all. But then I finally, but even in that, I still had miracles happening to me. And it was weird because I was at my lowest point. Like, I don't think you can get any lower than being homeless. I don't know. Maybe you can. I don't know. But at my lowest point, I was truly able to see life. And I no longer wanted to just exist. I wanted to live. And while working at the stockbroker's firm, although I made a lot of money, I met a lot of cool people, but I knew a lot of people who would do anything for money. And I didn't want that kind of life. I wanted a life where I would leave an impact on people. So, after 3 years, I believe, of living on people's couches and being pushed and dragged from one place to another, I came to this point. I watched the History Channel talk about the Big Bang Theory. And the Big Bang Theory, it was always intriguing to me. And in this Big Bang Theory, I'm 7 minutes in, I'm not going to be long, I'll make another video. In this Big Bang Theory, it talked about the horn antenna. Now, I'm going to add a link below to the horn antenna. And I think you guys will find this very fascinating for those who are watching. The horn antenna records the sound of the original bang. And I'm gonna add this to, I promise I'm gonna add this to the link so you can check it out. And it made me think about, because I'm a church person. I'm born and raised in the church. And a lot of the things in the church, I still resonate with. I don't agree with a lot of it, but it applies and it's applicable in my life because that's how I was raised. So when in the Bible, when it says, and God created, we all can assume that it was a voice that was echoing out. And when I think of the Big Bang, I think of God's voice or the Creator's voice stating what needs to be created. And therefore, our voices are the vibrations of who we are. And we are created to be the gods of the earth. We are created to speak into existence the things we want. And those existence or those things that need to be spoken have to align with the original bang. the sound of the original bang. Now, the original bang can still be heard even today. And that is mad cool. And that is the very beginning of my vibrational journey. Hope you enjoy. It's going to be awesome.